Felicia Michaels, my princess,
voice, you
has
know
been entertaining audiences
problems.
with a unique
Joey
style
Coco Diaz has
of
been
provocative
rocking
humor
comedy
since the
stages
90s,
for
all right?
15 years.
With her
You've
tongue
seen
in
him in
cheek,
films and
she's been
television,
exploring
but
such
his
topics
real
as the
patois,
dynamics of the male-female
are the
relationships,
stories from
or
his
as we call them
past
here in
and
the
his
studio,
chaotic
dirty
views on
thoughts,
life that will make
and
this
the
podcast
proliferation
a different
of the
beast.
sensual
Raw
feminist.
pain and
She's a little
passion is how to
firecracker
really
rolled up, and that's why I
describe
love
this
her, and that's why you're going to love
New
listening. So
Jersey
tune in, all right?
animal.
Another fun-filled week here. Happy Friday the 13th.
I know it's been the perfect Friday the 13th.
We had some difficulties this week, you know what I'm saying? So it happened, so we're sorry.
Yeah.
The podcast sometimes comes
late.
in late, but it's better than fucking ever. How are you, my little princess? You looking
I'm
good?
good. Thank you very much. I am very good. I've been doing my hikes. There was a mountain lion and I have a joke about a cougar going hiking, but there really was a cougar mountain lion that was spotted.
Did you see him, bro?
I was fucking scared to death. No, I didn't see him, but I was like, oh shit. And I was like telling my girlfriend, let's wait until a pack of other women come. And then as we're going up the hill, I see some mom has a 2-year-old and she's letting the 2-year-old just run down the hill all by themselves. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
And you see him on the Tonight News tonight, crying like a pussy. I didn't know. Let me tell you something. You know, you see all these documentaries on wildlife and APL, Animal Planet. That's for the cool motherfuckers called Animal Planet bitches, APL. And you see all this shit. and you know, you think in your back of your mind, you don't know what life is till you come face to face with an animal. That is fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You have no idea whether it's a big raccoon late at night. You know, I lived in Colorado, bitches. I heard bears. You could feel them walking. People would say stay in because the bears are coming down because they come down to get food or something.
Right.
When I lived in Aspen, the red bears. You know, and you could feel them in the area. And I've seen a mountain lion. I've seen a fucking rattlesnake that was bigger than anything I ever seen in Boulder, Colorado.
I saw a bobcat here in LA.
And you just freeze.
Yeah.
You know, people say to you, run. Oh, if you see it, what's the animal that you see? And you run sideways because they can't run straight.
Serpentine.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Run. I'm going to
that?
fly. There's an animal that can't chase you. I think it's a snake. If a snake is chasing you, you run side to side down the road. They tell you all these fucking anecdotes that will slip you. It's like joining karate. You join karate, you're a white belt, a yellow belt, a green belt. And then one night you're a Yum Yum Donuts and you get attacked by 6 Puerto Ricans and 1 black guy. And all the karate goes out the fucking window. You just start throwing punches. You know, and the same thing happens. Even if you're trained to whenever you see an animal or somebody says there's been a mountain lion, look what happened to you. Your ruffles go up.
Yeah.
You fucking, can you imagine seeing him from 20 feet away?
No,
you would lose everything.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
I guess you're supposed to stand still and wave your hands in the air.
Yeah, right. Good. Wave your hands, wave your hoof. Next thing, there you are. There you are standing there with your leg.
I did do the rest of the hike with a rock in my hand.
Oh yeah, it's fucking traumatizing, and it's good for me because I grew up in New York City and Jersey, and all of a sudden I find myself in the mountains of Colorado. I had never seen these type of animals. I had never seen, you know, these fucking raccoons the size of, you know, little fucking dogs up in Aspen. I've seen some wild shit, you know.
Sure.
That stuff petrifies the hell. I'm scared of pigeons.
Are you scared of pigeons?
I hate fucking pigeons.
Really? Do you cower when a pigeon flies near you?
I just don't like them. I just don't. There's certain
you didn't
things
answer my
I just
question. Do you cower? You're like, ooh, pigeon.
Do I fucking cower?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cower.
You do?
Yeah, I'm like fucking Alfred Hitchcock.
You stand
in
your
that
ground
movie.
and wave your hands like.
No, I don't wave. That's bullshit. I don't wave nothing. Those are my 10 fingers. They only get one of them. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna wave your hand. Some bird lips off your fucking tub. My friend on Sunset and Gardner used to watch a hawk every night, you know, patrol for food or some weird eagle or something. So this crazy fuck set up a camera. And, you know, and one day he goes, you got to come over here and see this. Like a year later, he calls. He goes, I caught this. I didn't even know. And he had the camera turned down, and you can't see. You just see the hawk landing and grabbing a pigeon. He's got the pigeon. The pigeon's trying to ruffle his feathers. He takes him down to the ground, and while he's looking at the other pigeons, with the fucking hoof, he just takes his fucking head off and starts eating the pigeon or the head. I'll never forget that. Like, I just froze. And ever since I seen that, I'm telling you, man, all those animals, all that. I like cats, dogs, and I'm not scared of pit bulls or anything.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing, you're used to them. Your body doesn't give off that energy of fear.
Right.
But I know if I seen a fucking lion early in the morning after you smoke 2 fucking bong hits and you're walking around.
Oh, you would freak out.
Oh, your body would just go into Nutrisystem. Yeah.
I don't like birds either because one time I was at the Home Depot and I was in the gardening section and I was they had part of the gardening section a little covered with some kind of awning, and underneath was all the dirt and fertilizer and soil, and it was rather tall, high up in the air, and I'm just looking at flowers or whatever, and this bird shits on me. I mean, it's like diarrhea. It's like, and my mouth was open. It went down my bangs and my nostril and my mouth, my
God.
shirt, into my purse that was kind of open. And there was this guy that saw the whole thing. And at first he's like, oh my God. And he kind of runs towards me to help me. But it was so fucked up. He had to stop. And he was like, I don't know what to do for you. And I was like, God. Oh my God. And it turns out the birds go down and they eat the loose fertilizer, and it just gives them diarrhea. I mean, this bird, diarrhea.
So you didn't get bird shit. You got diarrhea on something.
I got diarrhea on, it was like the worst, but I'll never forget that guy's face, like, oh my God, yeah, you're fucked, lady.
Listen, dog, I'm in Saginaw, Michigan for John Yoder. I'm doing a road trip up in Michigan, and it's
I've been on those.
And it's Bay City, Traverse City, and fucking Saginaw, Michigan. And I do the first two, and the weeks were so fucked up that I just said,
that's a hard run.
I said, I'll stay in Michigan. Work was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But this particular week, there was no work till Friday. So the whole week, I'm living on scrapes. I'm living on Subway vegetarian sandwiches, CDs in my room. I had a little bit of weed. I would do little bong hits outside. It's brutal. And there's nothing to do. There's just a Subway sandwich and a supermarket across the street. So one day I go, let me stretch my legs. And I start walking. I go to the supermarket, and boom, there you go. They got these fucking nice hot dogs on sale. So I get two of them. I haven't eaten like that. I've been eating Subway sandwiches like a fucking Puerto Rican all fucking week, right? I come out. It's a beautiful day to be alive. I'm walking in the parking lot of Saginaw, and all of a sudden, there's these birds, these seagulls. They start flocking around me. And all of a sudden, I swear to God, I'm eating that fucking dog, and I go to look up, and one comes and knocks the hot dog out of my fucking hand. And you know me, I just shit myself right there. The other hot dog, I'm running with the other hot dog in my hand, right? I'm trying to save the other hot dog. I'm running down towards the hotel, and they're coming after me. So
it's like slow motion, right?
Like slow motion. So finally, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I unwrapped the hot dog, and I took bit half of it as I was running, because you know me, I got to save something. And I threw the other half in the air, like to throw them off. These birds didn't go after that. They just came after me for my little fucking 2 inches of hot dog, those cocksuckers. I took one more bite out of it. I almost fell, and I just threw the other hot dog, and they fucking went the other direction, and that was my fucking hot dog and bird story. Ever since then, I don't want to fucking even see a bird in the museum, those cocksuckers.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I got attacked. And another time, I was at the Boulder County Corrections halfway house, and I wasn't doing blow, but I was selling blow, and it went through my fingertips when you weighed it. So I came up positive. So they said, you got a deal. You can either go back to prison or an outpatient halfway house.
You spoke about that.
Outpatient halfway house. And I'm out there jonesing, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck are you kidding? I'm out there dying to do a bump. I'm waiting to go in and talk to some lady about what happened in my childhood or some shit. And it's a beautiful day to be alive in Colorado. It's the spring. And I see this little fucking squirrel. You know me, you know what I'm saying? I come up to the squirrel, hey, squirrely. I'm outside eating like a half a sandwich, and I throw the fucking bread at the squirrel. Squirrel eats the bread, and then fucking runs up at me. There's another time I got attacked by a fucking squirrel, dog. And I only had a little piece of the sandwich I threw on the floor, and then the motherfucker chased me.
Really?
Chased me in bold. Like this guy went like a little fucking angry pit bull. And I ran into the rehab. I'm like, oh my fucking God. It was a big squirrel, though. It wasn't those little ones. It was those fucking green ones. And
Kidnapper at night.
Kidnapper at night, squirrel fucking activist in the daytime.
Squirrel bait during the day.
I was telling Felicia that Sunday, a friend of mine came over that I hadn't seen in about 10 years, but I've known him for about 35 years. And it was really weird. I love this kid like he's a brother. But in reality, I was best friends with his younger brother. And when I say best friends, I'm not even talking about best friends. At one part of the night, after we had dinner, the Mexican ice cream man came, and I took him to the weed store and showed him the weed store. He almost lost it. And I showed him around, and we went back, and he was talking about his brother, because he hasn't spoken to his brother in like 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I go, well, I haven't talked to him in like 10 years. I haven't talked to him since like 2003. And he was saying that in reality, he considers you a brother, more of a brother than me. And I looked at him, and I could see as he was saying it hurt him, and I thought about what he said, and I go, no, because we were there. And after he left, I started thinking about it, and I cannot tell you, Felicia, and these people in the Podcastville, the friendship we had. We had met when we were 13, and we were both regular white kids. We were little athletes. We were both on the 13 to 15-year-old All-Star League, and we traveled. But there was always something about him. He always had this little pain. His mom was a single mom, and she had a daughter, and the brother Keith, who was at Rutgers at the time, as a running back, but he had like this little pain. His dad had left, and whatever. And we didn't do drugs. We just smoked a little bit of pot. Then sophomore year, he broke his collarbone. He dated this hot piece of ass named Regina Gordon, and she used to like going out and getting high and stuff. So, he came up to me and he goes, "Hey, bro, what do you know about cocaine?" And we started talking about it, and then we went and got a little bit. At that time, I had already done it, sophomore year. We went and got some, and I was always very surprised. But he always needed money, so we became partners. And we would sell mescaline together, and then as time moved on, we sold Quaaludes, and we sold blotter acid, and we were just partners. We'd sell ups for, we'd buy a big jar of ups for $35 and
Ups are those black
beauties? Yeah.
Oh my God, I actually got my drug
fucking black
terminology
beauties,
correct.
yeah. And we were making a killing as kids, but we built like this weird friendship. But whenever I was with him, we never had a problem, and it escalated. We went from the pills to selling coke together. We'd go into 135th Street and buy like a quarter ounce, and then we were in high school, and we'd sell a gram here and a gram there. And he always had this gambling demon. My demon was the drugs, but his thing was always the gambling.
Oh, yeah.
And then we grew up and a little bit older, and we graduated high school together, and that summer we stole everything that wasn't locked down. We had an outlet for it. We had a friend who used to...
Is this the guy you used to steal the aluminum roof with?
No. This kid was a different kid. This kid, first of all, was half Indian, half American Indian, Navajo, and half Italian with blue eyes. He walked in the room, women would give him the fucking underwear. He was a very good-looking kid. And it was weird because he looked like a scholar. But this guy was a cold-blooded fucking street thief like me at the time. We just had needs, and we didn't know any better, and we started burglarizing. So this one summer, we went fucking nuts, and we ended up the summer robbing the gold chains, and we had to leave because the mob wanted money for the gold chains, and then we split up for a couple months, and we went back. By that time, we weren't selling drugs. We were just doing them now. But we were 50% partners on everything. That meant if he had $300, it was half mine, Felicia. And it was never like, hey, you owe me $150 from the NI. We just went out and didn't go home till the $300 was gone. The next day I'd come out with $400. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was this friendship that was the weirdest thing. And we would get pulled over. They'd take us out of cars, and they'd ask him questions, and they'd ask me questions. And we never ratted on each other. Never, ever, ever ratted on each other. He was just solid. I missed him. Then in 85, I left, and he married a black chick, and he had a little black baby, beautiful, and he went to UPS, and he, since high school, no matter how much we stole, he always had a job at UPS from 11 to 3. And about 10 years ago, they gave him his stock options, and it was like $4 million.
Yeah.
So he took the money, whatever he could touch, and he blew it on gambling, and the other half he fucking put away for his retirement. He's very smart, or whatever, however you want to call it. But it's so weird. I called him when I was in New York one time, shooting a movie, and he took my call, and he's like, "How you doing?" and stuff. And then after about a minute, he goes, "Listen, I really got to be honest with you." He goes, "My life has changed." He goes, "I don't even want to think of that shit we did when we were kids." And he goes, "I love you with all my heart, but I'd appreciate if you don't call no more." And I was shocked for a minute. Like, a part of me would say, "Fuck you, cocksucker," after all we went through. But the other part was like, I understand because I was there. I was there with him, and I knew what he was going through. I knew that he was a good kid that had gone bad because of the circumstances. It's not that he wanted to be a criminal. We caught each other at the right time. We both got out because we were in the mafia fucking teen leagues. Like, we were in that. We were unloading trucks for these guys in Staten Island. I remember unloading fucking bags of coffee beans for $5,000. Like, just a truck all night unloading coffee beans, getting bit by fucking bugs and shit that come in the coffee. We did everything together. If he got a job, I got a job. If he got a union job on a roof, I got a union job. If he got a longshoreman's book, I got a longshoreman's book. It was just the weirdest thing. And when he said that to me, I was in the New Jersey Turnpike. I didn't pull over or anything. I just thought about what he was saying. I said, "Hey, man, I understand. I love you to death, and no beef here." And people always say to me, "Aren't you mad at him or anything?" And I'm like, no, because I understood his pain. I didn't know what the brother told me, that he had become he went to the Joel Osteen thing, and he goes to the stadium meetings with him. I didn't know all that stuff.
Oh, really?
He goes out there and he bows his head in silence and all that stuff. And hey, whatever keeps you together at that age. You know,
for you, whether you're gonna go stand in a stadium or
whatever.
be a little old lady like my grandma in a trailer park who would always highlight all the religious programs in the TV guide, but never said a word to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's
whatever,
whatever
gets
saves
you,
you,
through
you
the
know.
fucking day. You
And
know?
it's funny because he said to me, I think we lost. And I go, no, he didn't. Because when my buddy died, Roger Holloway's wife died a few weeks ago, he showed up to the wake.
Oh, he did?
And he showed up for the wake the whole day. He sat with
Yeah.
him for the 2 o'clock to 4 and the 7 to 10. Then he came back the next day to the funeral. So I said, Keith, you know, he doesn't really want to get rid of it. He still loves us. And that's what I know this. I know in my heart where he's at. He's at a crossroads. He doesn't ever want to hear us say, remember when, which I'm with you. I understand. But at the same time, I know he loves us. There's no way he can't love me. And that's what Keith said. He goes, bro, he loves you more than me. And I go, there's no way he doesn't love me. In my head, I couldn't tell him. But I know that the love was there. But just the way it ended and stuff, it's just amazing. And I'm not mad at him. And if I'd see him again, I'd still give him a hug and tell him I loved him and keep walking because I understand where his head is at.
Right.
But there was so much pain as a child. His mom kept getting different boyfriends, and then he had to beat up 2 of the boyfriends.
Yeah.
And one day they robbed the boyfriend. I had to go over there, and they were smacking him around the street. It was just one thing after the other with the mother. And I even think that, like, the mother brought him so much pain. He's even avoiding her, so it's not just me, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes shit happens in your life and you move on with it. And I miss him every day. I still miss him because I never had that friendship, Alicia, again. It was a very weird. I've had that with like 3 or 4 people, but that was when you have the gift of breathing for somebody else. That's the weirdest
absolutely.
part of friend. And sometimes you don't even get it in your marriage. You get it with a person that you have no reason to get it.
Absolutely.
And that's what the beauty of it was, that there's people out there that are rich and famous, and they got to fucking sleep with one eye open. With this fucking kid, I never had to do this, and we were at the lowest level of life. We were on the fucking street. We were on the lowest level. There's no blue collar. We were down there with the scum, you know. We were like fucking living in the murky waters of the underworld. We were living as 10% percentage guys. And we were making a living. We were proud of what we did at the time, you know, but it's just so weird that people never have that in a lifetime. And I got this with this kid.
As Joey and I got out of the car, I said, Joey, why don't you eat, bang that whole thing? And he said, not today, it's Tuesday.
She wanted me to eat the whole fucking banana bread Tuesday at 1 o'clock like an animal. With the banana bread, you got to take one bite, and then you got to see what time it is. Maybe, you know, you got a mission, maybe you have a meeting. Then you eat another bite, and then when you realize nothing's going on, you finish the fucking thing. I had to blast the thing out in one shot because I ate half of it, and I was going to leave it in the car. But it had chocolate chips, so I knew that the sun would melt the chocolate chips, and I can't get it out of the fucking baggie. I'm not going to go through that later on. Just let's devour it now. And I got to be honest with you, I'm already feeling the effects.
I know.
That shit fucks you up fast, that banana
That's what
bread.
you get for doing it on a Tuesday.
NoHo CC, 4854 Lancashire. Ask for Dory. She's got the banana bread. And if she don't have the banana bread, get the caramel corn. That hits you really fucking fast.
I cannot do that, as we know.
It happens, you know. That's what happens. That's what comes with Mother's Day.
Yes, Mother's Day. By the way, so I wake up on Mother's Day, and my youngest comes in with a bowl of Lucky Charms and yesterday's coffee. It was like so cold, but he had put the right amount of milk in it, but it didn't dawn on him that you can't use yesterday's coffee, and it was cold, and it was the sweetest thing ever. And here, mommy.
Do you know how much
We're
fucking
lazy.
pressure it is when you're a little boy and you gotta get your mom something for Mother's Day?
What is fucking pressure? You get a piece of paper and say, I love you, Mom.
Fuck that, you know.
Thanks for
Fuck that.
scratching
You gotta
my
get your
back.
mom something nice. She's the one that makes you chicken noodle soup. She's the one that dresses you. She's the one that fucking tells you all this stuff. When you're crying, she wipes your tears. You gotta get her something deep. And you always try as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still remember getting a cigar box and from the store and painting it gold and getting macaroni shells and gluing it onto the box and painting it gold just to give it to them like a jewelry box. You know, shit like that you made with the whole team, you know, in the first, second, third grade.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to shop for a mom, whether it's flowers, whether it's, you never know if it's enough.
Yeah.
If it's enough, it's how it's done, you know what I'm saying?
It's how it's done. And by the way, the bowl of Lucky Charms and the cold coffee is how it was done. And it
Lucky
made me-
Charms are delicious. I don't give a
Lucky
fuck
Charm-
what
I can
anybody
bang
says.
some Lucky
You always eat
Charms.
those marshmallows out of there
Yeah,
first.
what the fuck is that? It should be the other way around, where there's more marshmallows and less of the crappy cereal, you know?
But they do that to you with everything.
I know. Why can't it just be,
I love those
marshmallow?
fucking
Just
Lucky
marshmallow.
Charms. All those Lucky
Every
Charms.
once in a while, throw in a cereal to
There's a
cleanse
hotel.
the palate.
There's a hotel in Addison, Texas, right behind the Improv that they have a contract with. And is it plugged in?
It is
All right.
logged in.
And because you never fucking know. She's giggling and shit.
Right to have
Who
checked
knows?
that,
And it's the Addison
on.
Improv in Addison, Texas. And right behind that, they have a hotel that gives you free breakfast. And you usually go to a hotel, they give you special K or cornflakes or something, something outlandish, sugar-coated, whatever, Tony the Tiger shit. But this hotel has Lucky Charms. And I just look forward to going there. Like, whenever I go there, they're like, nah, you're staying at the nice hotel this time. Fuck that shit. Put me over there on the corner where they give you the free breakfast up the block from the Mexican joint. That's where you want to stay, but I love Lucky Charms. That's my point.
Man, Lucky
That's the
Charms
fucking point.
Are the best. And I told you before when I went to Iraq last year to do comedy, and we did all those bases, and you would go into the mess hall or whatever that place is called, and there would just be boxes and boxes and boxes of little boxes of cereal. And I remember walking in there, first time I seen a guy in a uniform, kid, he must have been 19 years old, with an M16 up, propped up against his leg, banging on a bowl of Lucky Charms. And I thought to myself, oh my God, the war machine is powered by Lucky Charms.
Lucky fucking Charms.
I know.
If I would have known that, I would have joined up when I was 18.
That's how they get those young guys. We're not going to give you a
Lucky
great
Charm.
life after.
Listen,
but
can you imagine
all
going to
the
your
Lucky
recruiter?
Charms you want.
Can you imagine like going to your recruiter and going, listen, I'll go wherever the fuck you want to send me. We're going to make sure there's some Lucky Charms.
Got me some Lucky Charms.
And the recruiter's like, what? I don't give a fuck about what I learned. I don't care about steak.
I bet Osama bin Laden was banging on a bowl of Lucky Charms.
When they fucking shot him.
Those guys sniffed it out.
And that was it. They're like, where's the Lucky Charms, bitch? Ooh, look who it is. By the way, it's Osama. We got business with you.
They airshopped out the little marshmallow star that got stuck in his beard.
While we're here, I wanted to talk to you about something. Facebook is great because it connects so many fucking people out of your life.
My Facebook.
And for some people, they go on there and they reconnect from people from their childhood, from the Boy Scouts or from Catholic school or from grammar school, people from high school. For some reason, I always reconnect with people that I really don't want to see. And this week, I reconnected with an old drug dealer of mine from Colorado. And I got to tell you about this character. I got to tell you about this certain fucking character. It was a point in my, and I always tell people always email me about drugs and, what should they do. Somebody tweeted me today about coke, and I got to tell you something. When you get into drugs, you meet two types of people. You meet people that are swears, that they just do it part-time and then whatever, and they make a living, and they do the rest, and they go to bars. And then you meet the people who are behind the scenes. And when I was living in Boulder, I got out of prison. Oh, no, this is before I got locked up. This is right before I got locked up. And I went to a friend's house with another guy, and he introduced me to his friend. And the guy was from Guttenberg, New Jersey, which where I'm from. It's North Bergen, Guttenberg's a little town. And the guy says, "Come to my party on the weekend." It was when Mike Tyson fought Michael Spence in Atlantic City, summer of '88. This is how long ago this was. And we're at the party, and a bunch of people there, and Michael Spinks gets knocked out with 55 seconds left. So all these coke people there, and we're all doing powder, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at this fucking guy, and he's Spanish. I could tell he's Spanish, and I start talking to him, blah, blah, blah. And he's a Mexican guy. He grew up in Mexico, but he looked like that guy you like from that movie. He looked like that guy. What's that movie you like that we talked about the other day? The one with Harrison Ford when he goes to Colombia. There's a handsome Spanish guy in that movie.
Moira.
Yes.
Turn off the machine, Moira.
Right. He looked just like that. He was that handsome, suit on. And I started talking to him. He's so interesting. He's Mexican. At this time in Boulder, there was no other Spanish people. He spoke Spanish. I thought it was great. Finally, I get to meet a Spanish guy. Oh, my God. And I offer him a bump, and he goes, "No, I don't do that stuff." And I go, "All right, fine. I'm sorry." He goes, No. Try some of this stuff. And he gives me a little bump. And we start talking one thing later to another. He goes, "You want to meet for coffee sometime?" I said, "Sure." So I met him like a week later, and he's in this fucking bummy maintenance suit with some thing on, and his name was Chaga, And we start talking. He goes, "Listen, I don't know what you're doing. The stuff you had the other night was good." He goes, "Do you sell it?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Listen, the guy I introduced you is also a coke dealer." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Either you can go through him, but he's going to charge you $800 more an ounce." Who he gets it from. He goes, "I like you. I want to do business with you." He goes, "We'll start at 4 ounces a month." Right? He goes, "No upfront money. I'll just drop it off to you." And what he would do is he'd show up here like a maintenance man. Felicia. It was brilliant. He'd show up over here like a fucking maintenance man, and he'd tell you to leave a paint can outside. He would take a paint can out, and he would put the fucking coke in there, and he'd come to your house every month on the 1st. And you put the $3,200 in the can, and he'd leave you 4 more fucking ounces. Beautiful, Felicia. Beautiful cocaine. Real cocaine. Seal a meal. It'd make you come in your fucking pants. It was amazing. I'd be sitting out there like the mailman, fucking waiting for my check, like one of those fucking people on welfare. I'd wait for him on the first. And we became friends, and, you know, it was a professional operation. And I knew the guy didn't fuck around. Like, I knew, he always said to me, look, bro, I'll give it to you for a month. If you sell 1 ounce, you can make the 3,200. Don't make me knock on your fucking door, you know. So this went on for about a year. I had a great relationship with the guy. And then he had a gym. His family had a gym in Acapulco. And it's where Rocky, Sylvester Stallone would train for all his movies, Rambo 2, and because they go to Acapulco, so nobody would really bother him. And he would take Franco Colombo down there. So he would go down there. I guess Acapulco's summer is our winter. Something crazy, like their season is in January or something, like their big touristy
big
season.
Tourist
Right.
Yeah, it's
so
during
I
our
wouldn't see him. Our winter, he wouldn't be around.
Yeah.
So he would come to you and go, I'm gonna be gone for 4 months. I'm just gonna leave you 16 ounces in a paint can. And he would leave it, and then when he come back in 4 months, you had to have his money. Make a long story fucking short. And one of those times that he goes to Mexico, his wife is hot. He was dating his white chick. I guess that's how he got his residency. He had this bad, banging little fucking hot chick over at the University of Colorado. But he had the chick set up, and she had a house sitter, a housekeeper. Fucking she became friends with the housekeeper. And she started selling the housekeeper. She started giving a blow. The housekeeper set her up. It was the feds. They had been looking. This is how they fucking get people. They had been looking for him. They had been hunting him down. But he was so good at what he did. Felicia, there was no phone contact with him.
Yeah.
Once he dropped that off on the first, it was every month on the first you would get it.
Right.
I wouldn't even see when he would drop it off. All I knew is
really?
I wouldn't even see it. I didn't even see him. He didn't want to see you.
Yeah.
He would come to your house. He would mow your lawn. He'd tell you need any work done at the house? I ain't going to charge you, but when I come over here for an hour, I need to be doing something. That's how good he was, Felicia.
Wow.
Paint on his fucking face, whatever. And then his wife flipped on him. He came home because they offered to give the wife, because I think she sold the Fed 2 fucking kilos from the basement or something stupid. I mean, it was just something that you want to shoot yourself in the fucking head.
So did he get caught?
Yeah, he came back to the States. They arrested him. He introduced her to her, whatever, and he was like, are you fucking kidding me? He knew, but it was too late. She cut a deal. They arrest him. They put him fucking away. Maybe one of the times I went back to Boulder, somebody beeped at me. And he pulled over, and it was him, still in the maintenance truck. And he's like, how you doing, man? You hear what happened? I go, yeah. And I didn't know money or nothing. Everything was straight. That last paint can was taken. They didn't put nothing in. So I figured out something had happened, you know. And he was like, I'm really sorry about that. And I didn't even ask him if he still did it. And he goes, you know what? I just had a probation violation, so I'm going to have to go back for 3 more fucking years. This is 98, the last time I seen him.
Wow. So he befriended you
On Facebook, where old friends reconnect. You know what I'm saying?
And what did he say to you?
He said that...
you need any grass
No,
cut?
nothing. He goes, oh my God, my old friend, it's great to see that you're still doing well. You know, it was just a really nice letter, because he wasn't that type of guy. If he walked in the room and I told you his family were big-time Mexican drug dealers, you wouldn't believe it. He didn't have that look to him, nothing.
Yeah.
This is what his family did.
Wow.
And this chick took the whole family down.
I'm so excited about our project that's going to be done.
That's right.
In hopefully 2 weeks. I'm going to try to get it done in 2 weeks. I'm very excited about it. It's a surprise.
Let me tell you about fucking surprises. I got a call from a good friend of the podcast and a dear friend of mine, and one to you, Eddie Bravo, last night.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that our friend Eddie Bravo has agreed to fight Royally Gracie September 25th in Nottingham, England.
Wow.
And this is a rematch to the fight that happened in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is a tournament in Brazil that they do for grappling, and it's just jiu-jitsu. No punches to the head, no kicks to the balls, nothing like that. And that's how Eddie's claim to fame was. When I met Eddie, Eddie had not won the Abu Dhabi yet. He had just been a brown belt, and he was still emceeing he was a DJ at the strip club by the airport. Yeah. And that's when I met him. Yeah, he was
that's how you met him?
Yeah, I met him through Joe Rogan, but I met him when I first met Eddie, and they invited me. They want to go see Eddie? Yeah. It was a strip club by the airport. He was a DJ.
Are you serious?
No shit. He was
That's
a DJ there for
awesome.
years. And at the same time, he
I
taught
could totally
jiu-jitsu.
see him being a DJ at a
Yes.
strip joint, yeah.
And we befriended each other, and one day I find out he's a jiu-jitsu guy, and the next day I find out he went to Brazil and tapped out of Gracie. And there's more to the story. I know the haters are going to say, well, yeah, but the one guy. Listen, he tapped him out. Whatever happened, happened. And it's so weird because people always come up to me like, you're so fortunate. You know, I always tell people that there's a spectrum in our podcast. So I always try to talk about the good things and the bad things. When I tell you about that guy, Chaga, was a bad story because he came into my life at a weird time. Like the last person I needed in my life at that time was a coke dealer.
Yeah.
I couldn't meet like a nurse or a fucking gym teacher or something, you know?
You got to be around the gym.
You got to be around the gym. At the time, I was around the gym. Yeah, I was a
Okay.
big gym guy. But it's so weird that then in the other spectrum, I meet this Eddie Bravo, one of the weirdest times of my life. I was a big-time junkie. And, you know, I didn't know. I was doing blow every night. I was doing comedy and stuff, but in my mind, I didn't even care about what Eddie did.
Yeah.
And one day I find out he taps this guy out, and I started getting more interesting in Eddie, and I started asking him questions, and it's really weird. We're stand-up comedians, you know. We've been doing it. We're both professionals. We've been doing it for 20 years, you know. And you get this feel for it on stage. You can tell the difference between a professional and an amateur. And there's a small difference, but it's a big difference.
Right.
And it's so weird how I've seen martial arts taught before. And whenever I go see Eddie Bravo teach jiu-jitsu, I leave there in awe. The only reason why, listen, I go to Kung Fu and I don't really have to. I pay for it out of my pocket. I don't have to. I could go to Legends and train for free. Eddie has gave me the offer anytime I want to. I'm so ashamed of myself because he is so good at what he does that I'm so ashamed. I have such an insecurity to even get on the mat. He's that good, Felicia.
Yeah, wow.
And it's not that he's just that good. And when you look at him, and I'm telling you this, you're looking at me like, really? That little guy? That's the same thing I got when people told me the story. Like, you know who that is. Like, that guy he took something and he made it better.
Right.
And jiu-jitsu was great the way the Brazilians always had it. It's a great country tradition, what they did with it from the Japanese and how the Gracies turned it around. But Eddie added a little bit more for fighting. And when you go watch him teach it, he fucking sucks you in, Felicia. I've sat there for hours and like, wow. And he goes from student to student. He moves their hand or a foot. And it's so personal with him, you know. And you watch it and you're like, and I've had bad martial arts teachers and I've had good martial arts teachers. And I got to tell you, that's what draws me to be his friend. That he's so good at what he does that I wish that someday I could be as good as how thorough he is. I go online sometimes when I get stoned and I watch his seminars. And he sucks you in. He's a great little performer, you know. He sucks you in. He cracks a joke where he's supposed to. But he knows little things. And when he called me yesterday, I knew Eddie then, and I know Eddie now. Eddie now has 2 cats and a fucking rabbit and a beautiful girlfriend. Eddie's life is completely changed. I haven't seen him this focused in years. For years, he's been talking about this fight. That they offer it to him, they pull it back. But now, after talking to him yesterday, you know, I could tell that he's all in. He's got the trainers in set. He's already training. He was running. He kind of knew in the back of his head. And it's just weird that I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of him at any level. When somebody, you know, he's not a spring chicken. He's 40-something years old. And you could be in jiu-jitsu till you're 60. I mean, look at the guy from Love and Marriage. What's his name? Al Bundy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu. And he trains.
Really?
Yeah, with the Gracies. And so is the drummer from Poison. And there's a bunch of those guys.
Oh, really?
They're just straight up jiu-jitsu guys. They'll take an arm on you and you're fucking done. But it's what Eddie has done, you know, with something. And I don't know if you know, people always say, oh, well, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee took something and made twist to it and showed the stuff that wasn't effective now. That stuff was good in the 1600 when everybody weighed 110 pounds, you know, but it's not effective today. And some people knocked him, and the same thing happens with Eddie. A lot of people knock Eddie for doing what he did. You know, one of the best pictures that you've ever seen, I think I told you, they show a big picture of the Gracies. It's his Brazilian family. And they're all black belts in Brazil, and it's just a strong macho tradition. And there's like 40 of them. The grandfather's like 90, his sons, their sons, the grandpas. And then on the corner, they show a picture of Eddie, somebody imprinted like this with his finger up, like smiling. Because he took that system, they think, and he like made different changes, and the Brazilians hate him.
Yeah.
But you know what? The Brazilians don't hate him anymore. They see that what he did, what he was trying to do was just expand on it. And when anybody takes the balls to do that, and when anybody takes that step to do something like that, you always have to compliment them.
I got a Facebook friend request and then an email from a gentleman, and he wrote a rather a long email. You know who you are. But it was talking about that he was in a relationship that was abusive, but where it was the woman that was abusive emotionally and physically. And you know what? I think that happens to a lot of guys. I know guys don't like to talk about it, but here's the thing. It isn't that men are more violent than women. Men are just stronger. Women are violent too. We're just not as strong. But a person that can ridicule you and emotionally abuse you and cause you harm, and I know a lot of guys that have went out with women like that. It's devastating, you know, and it's hard to move off of a poisonous person like that, because sometimes people latch onto you and they just get their fucking poison in you, you know, like a fucking scorpion. And it's really a hard thing to come out the other side. And he had written that he has finally broken up with her, and it caused him a lot of pain, and it's a tough go.
We'll tell you something. Let's put this on paper right now while we're at it, because a lot of guys don't know this. It's funny because I go to Kung Fu, and there's a lot of girls in Kung Fu. And you watch movies, and you see all these fucking movies, and, you know, Charlie's Angels, one of the funniest jokes I ever heard was Brian Holtzman. He would say, for all you women that went to see Charlie's Angels, guess what? I'll still break your fucking neck. You know, I'll still break your fucking neck. And I watch these girls in karate, and they hit the bag and stuff. And I think in the back of my head, I think to myself, I could break that fucking girl's neck. There's no problem.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. We can impose physical violence on a woman. You know, that's it. That's the only place where we got you. Very seldom does a woman get torn apart how a guy tears apart. Women are the strongest motherfuckers on this fucking planet, emotionally and physically. You don't know how many fucking women carry men emotionally when they get married to them. A lot of guys don't know this. Women will fucking carry you emotionally. That's why when a guy breaks up with a woman after 20 years and he's been a successful guy with that woman is even doubly pissed because she put up with the tears and the bullshit, and we might not make it this month, so I'll eat fucking granola. She put up with all this. All of a sudden, this guy hits the lottery with a boating company or something, and he wants to get her. And you ever see those women, how fucking mad they get? Because it's an emotional thing. He didn't beat them. But when a woman does that to a man, dog, oh my God. I've seen guys walking around that are just mummified. A woman will fuck you up. Plain and simple. And I'm telling you this with a look on my face. You know I ain't fucking around, Felicia.
It's people that'll fuck you up.
It's women. Women will fuck you up in a different manner. Women have so much fucking power over you.
It's not all women.
Not all
just
women.
The bad ones.
No. But let me tell you something. Not all women, but you all have it in you. You could fuck us up if you really wanted to. And in a way, listen, man, after I watched The Burning Bed, that's just physical violence where a woman could feed you and then light your bed on fucking fire, or the other chick that cut your balls off. You see that once a year. But you see fucking guys walking around with their chin in the fucking dirt every day.
Yeah.
Physical abuse, emotional abuse from a woman, especially when she abuses you like you're a bum and pick that up, your friends are losers and all that shit.
Oh, yeah, no.
My fucking God.
I know.
And that's what this guy said to you in the note.
Yeah.
And I'm just collaborating from what you're saying.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you guys, you may be tough, you might bench 400, you know, all this shit, but you know nothing. You know, just look at the power our moms have over us. Start right there, you big fucking momos. The banana bread is kicking in, so forgive me. The banana bread is kicking
in. But anyway, so we have been getting great emails off our Facebook as well as the Beauty and the Beast podcast at gmail.com address or whatever. So, and I want to give it a shout out to John, who made some music featuring a line of yours. Very nice.
I heard that. It took 22 hours to fucking download, cocksucker. But I heard it. I liked it. Thank you for the kudos.
And I also want to give a shout out to Daniel, who Facebooked and said he loved the last episode and liked the title, and Francisca, who gave me some kudos on Mother's Day. He said I was a badass mom. Anyway, and Priscilla, a girl listener. We got to always give a shout out to a girl because I don't know how many girls are listening. There's starting to be more, though, by the way. Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to Priscilla, Tony, Demaine, Mike, who came on and looked us up after hearing us on the Drunk Cast, and a young man named Tyler wants to hear an episode dedicated to great albums and great songs. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
If you had to pick right now, I'm going to test you. If you had to pick 5 of the best albums that that a 16-year-old should listen to, what would they be?
To set them straight, like to put
No, just
really
to
put
give
them on the road to
just
fucking
to give them knowledge.
To give them knowledge. All right, here you go. You ready, guys? Number 1, Pink Floyd, Animals. Number 2, Led Zeppelin 2. Number 3. No, this is honorable mention. Number 6, B-52's the first album with Dance This Mess Around and Rock Lobster is a fucking monster. Number 3, to really get your head together in the right place for if you're a guy, something Black Sabbath-y, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, maybe. Master Reality's too strong off the bat. That'll kill you unless you've been through a year of acid training and combat fucking THC and heroin and shit like that.
Acid training.
Yeah, you gotta do a year of acid training. When I first listened to Master Reality is too fucking real. It's just, it's got Sweet Leaf on it. That's how they fuck with you. So you put it on and you're like, and you smoke pot and you think it's cute, but then it just takes you to dark fucking places. So you got to open up with some. Forget about Sabbath. You're too young at 16. What else, Felicia?
Well,
I love to get the you always got to include Leonard Skinner's Street Survivors. Anything. You might not like country. You might not like rednecks. This is pure fucking gold, guys. Just get Street Survivors by Leonard Skinner. That's number 4. What do you think for number 5? We got to throw a woman in there.
Number 5, that's a tough one. Well, I would.
The Pretenders 2.
Oh, the Pretenders.
Chrissy Hynde, 1 and 2.
The Pretenders.
Are you fucking kidding me? I opened up my mouth and you showed me what that hole was for. Are you fucking kidding me? Let me tell you something. The first 2 Pretender albums and the 4th one, Learning to Crawl, 84, The Middle of My Load, all those songs on there. But the fucking first 2, I think it's Pretenders 1, has a song, I wrote you letters, you my friend. That one. That's a great fucking jam.
I just saw her not too long ago in Long Beach at the Queen Mary. She
opened we talked
up
about
for
that.
Lucinda Williams, and it was awesome. If I had to eat pussy, it would definitely be in that kind of vein. Sorry, activity partner.
Let me see. Who won?
I've never had pussy before. I've never eaten pussy. I've never even experimented. That's really kind
What's
of
another
sad.
good album for the head? He's fucking 16, Felicia, and you're talking about eating pussy.
Well, come on. He wants to hear that I really would eat Salma Hayek's pussy. I had a dream once where I ate Salma Hayek's pussy. And I also had a dream where the devil was choking me, so you know what I mean?
We gotta talk about the devil. I just ate fucking banana bread. You understand me?
The devil's going to get you, Jobe.
All right, so the top 5 albums. So you got Led Zeppelin 2. You got, what else did I say?
You said
Street Survivors, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, Animals is a fucking masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, but you have to listen to what he's saying. You got to be crazy. You've got to have a real need. You got to sleep on your toes. Listen to that. That is fucking classic. There's 4 types of people in the fucking world. Pigs, sheep. What's the other one?
I have no idea.
Pigs, sheep. I don't even fucking know right now. The banana bread has destroyed my memory.
Let me ask you this, Mr. No Memory Man. What other genre of music would you pick? Like, we love Bill Withers. We have that in common.
But you're 16. That'll put him to fucking sleep.
Oh, really?
That'll put him to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, it's too much. Whatever. Cool in the Gang.
Yeah.
I want to get this guy going on the right track.
Yeah.
Bill Withers comes from 5 to 10.
Yeah.
That's a different patois. When I was 16, if you put Bill Withers on, we were going to be fist
What do
fighting.
you think is the right age for a man to get into some Bill Withers and all that kind
He's
of
got to
stuff?
eat pussy. He's got to drink some whiskey. He's got to lick an asshole. He's got to grow some hair. You got to get a job, and then and he's got to be heartbroken, because then he'll understand that song, and he'll understand, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. It's not about getting your dick sucked or having a beautiful girlfriend, but you'll know once you hear that song and you've lived it.
Right.
What a lovely day is. You know what I'm saying?
So if you're a 16-year-old boy, and I know a 16-year-old boy, actually a 17-year-old boy who has his first girlfriend and she broke up with him, what would you listen to find solace?
When I was 16 and 17 and I broke up with my girlfriend,
Your first girlfriend that you
one
crushed on.
fucking album will set you straight. But you got to do it with something. You won't remember in the morning. You got to black this out. If you're in love and you want to get her out of your fucking mind forever, put on the second side of Sabotage. From Hole in the Sky to whatever. But the last song is Megalomania, I think. But it's the second or whatever song. The second or third song, they're just tougher than shit. And he praises the woman, and then he just tears her the fuck apart. The last verse of it, and you just go fucking bananas. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Skin Industries for all your athletic apparel. Go to skinindustries.com and get your Beauty and the Beast headshot or fucking picture, t-shirt.
The t-shirt.
Right
go
now.
there
Limited edition.
t-shirt.
There's like 15 left. Besides that, Felicia, I love you with all my heart.
I love you too, Mr. Diaz.
And I'll see you next week. And I'll
Okay.
see you cocksuckers next week. Stay black.
I see. I forgot my thought again.
This is too much.
Yay.
And I'm the one that ate the fucking banana bread. It must be coming out of my eyeballs, hypnotizing her. That's how I roll,
Well, it is
bitches.
smoky in here. Jeez, Joey.